The Golden State Warriors' raid of the Boston Celtics this offseason goes beyond their pursuit of veteran center Al Horford, with the franchise reportedly holding interest in a blockbuster trade for Derek White. According to NBA insider Jake Fisher on Wednesday, Golden State definitely called for Derek White too, as the Celtics look to manage their enormous payroll in the wake of Jason Tatum's devastating torn Achilles and a second-round playoff exit against the New York Knicks. The Warriors' inability to land Derek White will only further frustrate fans. White would have been a perfect backcourt partner for Stephen Curry, with his versatile skill set on both ends proving so valuable in Boston's success over recent years. The 6'4" guard is coming off a career-best season where he averaged 16.4 points, 4.5 rebounds, and 4.8 assists on 38.4% shooting from three-point range, over 9 attempts per game, while also finishing 10th in Defensive Player of the Year. Fisher didn't go into details on what a trade may have looked like, but did note that deals for White and Jaylen Brown never really got close. The Celtics now appear to be pushing on with both Brown and White as Tatum recovers from injury, having addressed their payroll situation by trading veterans Jrue Holiday and Kristaps Porzingis. New at Celtics CLNS. Jake L. Fisher joined at the Garden Report in Vegas and discussed the #Celtics offseason, including why Boston passed up on the number 9 pick from Toronto for Derek White, Jrue Holiday. Bobby Manning, July 16, 2025. This reported interest in White will only further frustrate Golden State fans who are still waiting for the franchise to make their first move since free agency opened over 2 weeks ago. Missing out on White is just another example of the Warriors being linked to a player, but ultimately being unable to get a deal over the line. The news comes after Golden State also missed out on another high-level two-guard in the form of Bradley Beal on Wednesday, with the 3X All-Star rejecting interest from the Warriors and others to sign a 2-year deal with the LA Clippers. Reported interest in White and Beal does signify Golden State's desire to add backcourt reinforcements this offseason, having also been linked to a number of players that remain available in free agency. The Warriors are expected to reunite with former guard DeAnthony Melton on a minimum deal, while they also reportedly reached out to Damian Lillard in the aftermath of his stunning departure from the Milwaukee Bucks. Malcolm Brogdon, Ben Simmons, and Seth Curry are also options that have been linked to the Warriors, but who they ultimately end up with is unlikely to be known until they find a resolution with restricted free agent Jonathan Kuminga. As the Golden State Warriors have sat stagnant this offseason, the lingering fact of Jonathan Kuminga's restricted free agency has loomed over every decision they might have made to this point. However, although his market has cooled somewhat since the start of the offseason, the Phoenix Suns have arisen as a new suitor for a Kuminga sign-in trade, and the Warriors could now have the ideal opportunity as a result of the Bradley Beal signing. Now that the Suns are under the first apron and have vastly increased financial flexibility, a move for Kuminga could be in the cards, and Golden State could take advantage of their rivals' eagerness. The Phoenix Suns could become the ideal destination for Kuminga. Following a disappointing season in which the Suns missed the playoffs entirely and posted an abysmal 36-46 record, the team has sought to reconstruct their roster around franchise icon Devin Booker. In doing so, they have traded away superstar Kevin Durant to the Houston Rockets and, just yesterday, allowed veteran guard Bradley Beal to complete a buyout and sign with the Los Angeles Clippers. While these two moves have allowed them significant roster flexibility, they have also induced a newfound financial freedom. The Suns are now capable of making a significant trade this offseason to try and work their way back into contention. The first sign of this desire is their newly reported interest in a potential Jonathan Kuminga sign-in trade, according to Jake Fisher of the Stein Line. While Golden State has reportedly sought a return of a young player and a first-round pick in a potential Kuminga deal, such an offer has yet to materialize. While the Suns own none of their own tradable first-round picks, it is possible that the Warriors' front office would be willing to adjust their asking price in order to find an acceptable return for Kuminga this offseason. According to Fisher, Golden State and Phoenix have already considered a trade involving Kuminga during the pre-trade deadline discussions surrounding Durant. However, as a result of Durant's unwillingness to return to the Bay, these talks never materialized. In adding Kuminga, the Suns could bring a dynamic scoring talent to their frontcourt and, depending on what the potential package going back to the Warriors would be, Kuminga could finally be granted his wish of having a larger role in a team's offense. While it is uncertain whether Phoenix would have the assets necessary to complete a deal, the fact that there are new suitors emerging should be ample cause for excitement for fans of Golden State Warriors forward Jonathan Kuminga has spent much of the offseason at the center of swirling trade speculation. And now, NBA insider Jake Fisher has revealed that Kuminga and his camp were hopeful for a sign-and-trade scenario with the Chicago Bulls. That interest wasn't one-sided. While the Sacramento Kings had shown the most external interest early on, Chicago surfaced as a realistic target. But the Bulls' complicated negotiations with restricted free agent Josh Giddey and a wide gap in salary expectations ultimately derailed any momentum. The idea of Kuminga landing in Chicago gained online traction, especially after rumors tied Warriors center Nikola Vucevic to a possible swap. However, for now, it appears Kuminga will stay in the Bay Area, which might be something Kuminga doesn't want. Why does Jonathan Kuminga want to leave the Warriors? Kuminga's desire to leave the Bay Area is rooted in more than trade rumors. Despite averaging a career-best 15.3 points and 4.6 rebounds last season, his defensive inconsistencies and imperfect fit within Steve Kerr's motion-heavy, ball-sharing offense have limited his minutes and role. The Warriors' current roster construction hasn't maximized Kuminga's strengths, his slashing ability, athleticism, and one-on-one scoring potential. And while Golden State continues to negotiate a possible extension, their hesitation has complicated other offseason moves, including delayed talks with veteran big man Al Horford. Regardless, Golden State is being pushed to confront the future of its young forward. But from Kuminga's perspective, Chicago was more than a destination. It represented an opportunity for a fresh start, perhaps even a larger role. But most of all, a possible chance to become the all-star he believes he can be. Whether in Chicago, Sacramento, or elsewhere, one thing is becoming increasingly clear. Kuminga is ready to spread his wings and move on. The only question is where.